Hey everyone, Reverend Beth Simmons here with your midweek moment. And I am sitting here on this beautiful day. There's a hawk flying up above over there, and there's wildflowers. We've let our fields grow. We did the no mow May mostly in this field, and we've decided to just keep it going for now, and we'll mow some paths, but it's just amazing the number of flowers that's out here. And they especially, and I don't know what these are, the name of these are yet. I'm gonna just pick one. These fantastically fuchsia flowers. And I'm gonna just tuck this behind my ear for right now. So it is mid-June now, hence all the beautiful wildflowers here up in New Hampshire. And last week I talked a little bit about sort of the transition time that we're coming into, this end of the year time where there's lots of graduations and stuff happening. And this week I wanted to shift that. That was a lot, sort of aimed a lot at students, or lifelong students that we all are. And this week I want to talk about teachers. I think one of my biggest honors is that my official title at the Hancock Congregational Church is pastor and teacher. And I love teaching. And actually, when I started college, I was an education major and considered teaching. And now I homeschool my kids, so I am teaching somewhat. And I'm teaching at church all the time. And part of the reason that I love it so much, I think, is because of the influence of some amazing teachers in my life. So I wanted to give a general shout out to all of you teachers out there in whatever way you might be teachers, whether you're a pastor and teacher at a church, whether you're a Sunday school teacher or an adult ed teacher, a youth group leader, or you're a homeschool educator, or you're a public school or private school or charter school or outdoor educator. All of these things, all of these ways of teaching are just so important and so valuable. And I wanted to shout out a few of my teachers that I found so formative. Two of whom have since passed, but they were really important to me. So I want to just remind all of you teachers that what you do is important and people remember you. So the first is, actually I'll do two from my elementary school time. Mary Colton, who was my second grade teacher, and she was actually my second grade teacher for 2 years because I repeated second grade. And she was just amazing. She loved what she did. She was joyful and just, I mean, I just remember she loved teddy bears. I remember so much of what she taught because of the way she taught it and the way that she saw us all as individuals and really cared for us. And she died a few years ago, but Mary Colton, wherever you are on another plane, remember that I hope you know how much I appreciate your love and care and education of me. And then the next year, after my 2 years in second grade, I went to third grade with Mrs. Strasburger, and her first name is totally Donna, maybe. Sorry if I'm getting your name wrong. One key thing I remember to her, I was spelling friend wrong all the time. And she gave me that quick little hint of you'll always have a friend to the end to remember that friend ended in E-N-D. And she also was a teacher who really saw us all as individuals and really expanded my vision of the world and pushed me to learn more and explore more. And I remember doing a whale project in her class and learning about Australia and all kinds of things from third grade. So folks, it's been a long time since I was in third grade, and I still remember these because of Mrs. Strasburger. I also want to shout out one of my Sunday school teachers, Muriel Goodwin, who we all just called Nana. She was, at least in my mind, old. when I was younger, when I was little, she was already a grandmother. Her grandkids, some of her grandkids were older than me, but she had grandkids my age. And she only died a few years ago also. So she lived a beautiful, long, fulfilling life. And she just, oh gosh, she was a spitfire. She was, I don't know, 4.5 feet tall. She was not very tall. Both of my Sunday school teachers were on the petite side, but she just loved us. And I think that's what I remember most, is that she was not afraid to love us, all these kids at church and Sunday school, in all our, even as we grew up into preteens and adolescents and were acting that way. She loved us, and she gave us, little nudges when we were not acting appropriately. But man, she could hug, and she just poured love on us. And then finally, I want to shout out to Susan Keeble, who was my very first math teacher in high school and my first term in high school, and it was at boarding school, and she was also my dorm head. And let me tell you, now as an adult who has been raising teenagers, God bless you, Susan Keeble, because I know that my friends and I put you through a lot and stressed you out a lot, I'm sure, with some of our antics and questionable, not even questionable, poor choices in life. And so I'm grateful that you stuck with us and loved us in those hard adolescent years, when we were testing boundaries and trying to figure out who we are, and we're far away from home, and just among the very vigorous, stressful rigors of that school. Yeah. So thank you to those 4 teachers in my life, and for all the teachers that have been in my life and who in my children's lives, and just in the world. And so if you are in a space, and an emotional space, spiritual space, physical space where you can do so, I invite you to join me in a time of spirit and prayer and blessing on all the teachers and educators, especially if at this time of year when we are, for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere anyway, are ending the school year. I know some of you have already ended, but imagine this blessing on this time. And in particular, I'm going to ask a blessing for those teachers who are feeling a little burnt out by our educational system right now. So please be with me in prayer and reflection. Teacher God, you have created us in a diversity of ways and learning styles, and we are so grateful for that we get to learn from each other, that you have deemed it wise to teach us in so many ways, through your love and your actions, through the words of prophets, through the touch of healing, through the smell and taste of bread and meals shared and the fruit of the vine. We learn of you through all these different ways and so many more. And so, God, as you made each of us in your image, so teachers also, called by you into this privilege, this honorable and demanding and often under-respected position of teaching, of educating others, sharing their knowledge and wisdom with patience and creativity and passion. God bless the teachers and educators in whatever setting of whatever age, whatever form this comes. Give them strength and courage to continue. Give them wisdom and knowledge to discern when it is best to follow the rules and when it is best to push back for the sake of their students. Shower them with love. Help them understand how deeply respected and cared for they are. Guide their journeys, that they may remember that theirs too is more than a job, but a calling, a profession, and that they have not only us on their side, but you always. And God, help them to know that no matter the bureaucracy and red tape and the litany of ways that they are not good enough and the mounds of tests that they are supposed to prepare for and all the paperwork and the standards and everything else, they're students, they're learners, they remember and they appreciate all that they give of themselves so that each of them may become who they are and who they are meant to be. We ask this in the name of the one who you sent, another way of teaching us your depth of love for us, Jesus the Christ. Amen. Friends, have a wonderful rest of your week. Our day is not supposed to stay this gorgeous and beautiful. We're supposed to get storms this afternoon, but I hope wherever you are, that you get a chance to go see some wildflowers, be outside, enjoy whatever weather it is, and yeah, be blessed. I love you.